Good morning, children. Welcome to the Eden Valley for your dose of family farming. The beet chopper this morning, I've just literally shoved it across like 2 foot, and I hope that's enough for the New Holland's actually here, Big Boy's New Holland. It just started filling up with fuel, so it just got left here. So we're just going to try it with that, which is a slightly smaller tractor. Obviously that's not the long-term plan because it lives at Big Boy's house, not our house. But yeah, just for crack, putting the New Holland on the beet chopper instead of crushing barley for once. I moved it out from the wall, but Roy said we wouldn't be able to get the bucket underneath. It needs something to stand it on, which we knew anyway, we just haven't done it, so it's just feckless. So he's pushed it back against the wall. I've turned the revs on a bit high and it's making mush. How far Roy can get up there. Oh my god, they're like missiles. So, cattle are on the move. We've had them through the handling system today, do some jobs. I'm going to jump in this really nifty buggy. I'm going to stick the baby Ivor Williams trailer on and see if I can bring a bale of straw back. This is just so useful, it's untrue. I can't even like hold on, I'm going to think about it. Oh, look at that. I'm only going across the yard. Don't panic. I have so many opinions right now. Huh. We don't need these in there. Found these in the scrap heap and I thought, I shall have those. While I put my heated seat on. I thought we were over the chilly mornings. I thought we'd got through this. Obviously not. Elbows to the rescue. Like, could we cope without this thing? Could we? Though. What would farmers do without lick buckets? Seriously, like we'd have to actually buy real buckets. It'd be crazy and really expensive. Here is the, you know, the other day when I put the New Holland on the beet chopper and turned it up a little bit too much. This is, it's turned into like it's like this. They're gonna love it. It'll be easier intake anyway, put it that way. In 100% reality, we brought the lambs in, the boy lambs in, little tup lambs. They weren't doing outside. They were like what was left. Anyway, they're gaining weight. But like, I'm not a fan of sheep inside. Let's just put that there. They're all going a little bit lame just because they're in. They're getting like stormy eye, conjunctivitis, whatever the hell you want to call it, cloudy eye, silage eye. It's got loads of different names. This thing here that I've got hold of, I'm just treating it. The reason for it is I think it's quite a contagious thing, and I'm going to actually throw this lamb out just because I can't see anyone else who's got it apart from him. They call it silage eye because when they're eating silage, they're rubbing next to each other, aren't they? Their eyes rub together, and that's how it's transmitting. So storm eye, silage eye, whatever the hell you want to call it. Right, some people just, if you go on any of the ladies in lambing, like I know you shouldn't go on anything on Facebook that says ladies before it because it's automatically just a bitch fest. But they have had arguments in the past about just spraying blue spray on. Now that is a common treatment of it. But apparently it is literally like so painful for the sheep. Imagine you spraying bloody blue spray in your eye. Anyway, you can get a thing called Opticlox, I think it was called last time I looked. And it just is it's so cheap, dirt cheap, and it's a tube from the vets. And you just put that in as like an ointment. So that's what I use. But yeah, I'll show you it. Come here, kiddo. Can you see? Stand still, good lad. Oh, lad even. Stand still, good lad. Listen, your attitude ain't going to get you nowhere. I just want to see your eye. Can everybody see? Is that a good... And it's like a hazy film over the top of their eye. It will be fine. Like, but still. It can affect them. It can, if it gets going, affect them quite badly. But it's really easy to treat. It's actually remarkably common. We've had it before in bullocks when we brought a load of bullocks in and we started feeding them. Instead of feeding them out of a long trough, we fed them out of a manger, like the red port-equipped one that we've got that goes in the field. We fed them out of that, and because the feed space was more limited, they were closer to each other and banging their eyes together, and I went through them like wildfire, honestly. And me jumping on bloody cows, bullocks, I ended up being like bloody Lone Ranger. It was ridiculous. I was just going and like literally hoying myself on top of these bloody bullocks and sticking this stuff in their eyes. It was messy. I could have just brought them up the yard and put them through the crush, but obviously I like to do things the hard way. You know we are not demo people, but I am demoing the demo out of this. I am taken. Past, a couple of people have asked, sorry, there's no lights on in here. A couple of people have asked, why do we deep litter effectively the bed? So basically, deep litter is what you do. You leave the bed as it is and you just keep piling straw on top. And what happens is by the time you've gone up a few layers, the wet from when they have a wee or a poo or whatever drains down to the bottom. The top's meant to stay drier. They're meant to stay cleaner, warmer, etc., etc. So this is as good a time as any to explain what would happen if you didn't deep litter. Sorry, Roy's just about to come and make a noise next to me. This is a clean concrete floor with a new bed. So we've just completely mucked this out. So periodically we'll come in and we'll take all of the bed out completely, because otherwise it'd just get too high. Now I like a high bed. I do like a high bed because I find they lie drier and the wet seeps away a lot more. That's how it's designed. And also it's warmer. So, for instance, this here, all they're on's concrete, right? So what happens is, when they wade on in the bed to lie down, that there is called concrete. So when you see people like Joe Seals and us, Joe Seals more so than us, because that guy's heavy on the straw, because they're in that area, it's cheap, it's around them, they're very arable. And the straw share thing, oh my God, I wish I could have that. But that is why we just keep building up and up, because otherwise you end up, not only is it slippy for us personally, it's slippery, it's just not as clean. And you'll see, I'll bring you in tomorrow. These guys here are the only ones that are in that end, and we're not heavily stocked in there. We are, however, heavily stocked in cow and calves. It's got to be about time we're going to wean them. The cows are fed up of them. The oldest one is as big as a cow. The youngest one, sadly, is still a lot smaller. Might take that out, might not. It depends if it'll cope. It's just a judgment call, isn't it? They're plenty old enough to be weaned. So when you're feeding calves on powdered milk, you can wean them at 10 weeks old. These guys here, one of them was born at the end of lambing, which was April? Jane's back to your clean bed. So we just dumped a load of silage in. They've got beet and barley in the trough. Not honest to tell you, this is the worst job in the world. And not for the reasons you might think. There might be spiders. Stop it. Oh God, I'm feeling chill. Roy, why'd you ask me? Oh, I don't want to. Right, come on, man up. so pathetic. I can't even tell you. Oh, don't look up, don't look up, don't look up, don't look up. Really show you up here. So this is like above the crusher, and there's all the belly, and it gets blown in through the door behind me that's taped up, but you can't really see, and that there is a hole straight down. Can you even hear me? I don't know. Straight down into the crusher. I'll show you, but I just don't look up. Morning, children. Have I got a hoodie, a body warmer, a whatever this is called, thingy fleece, and a coat on? Yes. Yes, I have. Because she is cold. She's cold. That also hit in the porch. Yes, she has. Yes, she has. Yes, she has. Because we're really organised, we've chosen this moment to nearly completely run out of wood for the boiler when we're busy. So Roy's just going to bring some out. The field is soft. It ain't that frozen, let me tell you. He's going to bring some wood out and stick it. I think he's going to stick it in the handling system, and we'll get it processed so that we can actually have some heat. All I do is spread straw. Like, that's just my job. When people ask me, what do you do? I spread straw. Oh, in updates, beat chopper works that way round. You all said it would, but Roy didn't think the bucket had fit under properly, but the bucket does fit under, so that is a total bonus. Look at the view though. Sorry, this isn't a very good video. Look at the view though. I'm drinking a brew with a thing in my hand. Signed up for this. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Do subscribe though. That would be really, really handy for me. Really handy. It costs you notes, so Andrew Ward says. Look at the view. Sorry, let me get rid of me. Isn't that cute today? Oh, I don't know if that's gonna work. Never mind. Right, I might have to move you. I'm really sorry. I'm just waiting for the seat to go off. So hard work. So shit. To say, I put the, you know, the bullet with the sore leg, or the bull with the sore leg, I put him back in with his friends. Absolutely fine. Really pathetic. I've just passed Rufus and Anna at swimming at school today. And I've just passed the bus on the way back, and I really want him to have seen me and gone, there's my mum driving a tractor. I'll have to ask him. I'll ask him when he gets home. Remind me to ask him later. Working? Is that alright? Going back in the big shed, so we're literally in the middle of the yard splitting wood to go into the boiler room. Got a little bit of beet stuck in the bucket. Well, bucket for wood. We've run out of space. If there's no string involved, you're not doing it right. Not doing it right. Remove his cows, take them to Roy's dad's house. Calves are in there ready to get fed up because they will be going very shortly. They're looking good. We're not going to be keeping them for the full length of time that we usually keep them for. And then we need to scrape the yard because we've been chopping wood all over it and it's a screw. That I had an issue with Merlot when there was a little light coming up and I kept saying, what does that light mean, people? And it was like a little teardrop. Yeah, it was like an oil drop, wasn't it? With two brackets around it. Anyway, I was like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Anyway, I looked in all of the manuals and I couldn't find anything. Spoke to Rob, who works for Ollie, and he said brake fluid, and he told us where to look. And we just took some brake fluid in and it has cured it. I was always under the impression, having worked at a garage, may I add, with mechanicking brother-in-law and father-in-law and Roy, selling cars and stuff, that brakes were an exclamation mark with brackets around it. I don't know why it's changed, but never mind. So for a while we didn't know what the actual symbol meant. I'd looked on the internet. Literally, like no joke, literally couldn't find anything. So yeah, brake fluid, got some brake fluid, put it in, solved the problem. Thank you, Rob, you are a star. He can, with this thing, wherever he is, I can hear him coming. I'm taken with it. Like, oof! Woo! That there was nothing going in that shed. Allowed to be parked in it, but he doesn't want things going in it, so that's a different thing apparently. Roll some cows out and doze them. Absolute life hack for anybody who's interested. I last time I used this struggled immensely, as in I went through a good fair few needles. The cows were jumping about, they weren't happy because I was taking so long doing it. I didn't think the needles were thick enough for the thickness of the stuff. I didn't even think just to put it in warm water. Really, because years ago, I remember the vets asking me to put a bottle of medication, I don't know what it was, don't ask me, in my pocket to warm it up, and apparently it makes it that it comes out of the syringe and gets drawn up easier. So, life hack for anyone like me who's stupid enough and has forgotten. Just dosed all those. Roy's just going to back the wagon up to hopefully here. When we built the handling system, we didn't take into account loading. Honestly, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. The roofs on either side are too low to get the stock box in and under, so you kind of have to perch yourself next to it. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. Cows in summer were being fed outside, they had ample grass, we're not overstocked, they were looking good. And then we've left the calves on too long, but they've definitely been on long enough and it's starting to take out the cows and the conditions going backwards. Now ordinarily you'd have all winter to build them up in the sheds and then you'd be putting the bull out in spring and everything will be fine, but we're selling ours, so we need them in better condition sooner than later kind of thing. So we're taking the calves off now. They are absolutely plenty big enough. They're far too big, some of them. It will not do the calves any harm whatsoever, and the cows are desperate for a break. So we're taking them to Roy's dad's house and dumping them off there so that they can be fed without being annoyed by calves all day. But they are not in calf. They have got no calves in them whatsoever. And we didn't put a bull with them. Because we knew this was going to be the end of the suckler job, so we knew we were going to be selling them all. So these are the cows that we brought here, and let's be honest, they'll do this all night, as will the calves. Really, at this time of the year, you would just be kind of maintaining the weight on suckler cows and just feeding them, keep them going, and we're going to start feeding them up. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be feeding them brewer's grain, barley, beet and grass silage as a combined, a mix if you will, but obviously we don't have the facilities to mix at all. We're at Roy's dad's house, not our house, and we don't have a feeder, so it will be a case of putting the grass silage out and tipping everything on top of it. No different really, to be honest. But yeah, hopefully that sticks some weight on them, because there is a view to sell them all pretty soon. Are all here, tucked up in bed. They've all been fed, everything's fine, and then we're going to go home and straw and sort out all of the calves that we've weaned today, and everyone will just be noisy for a few days. Can you see there? Tiny bit. Can you see them towers there? That's the concrete yard where we buy all our concrete from. You know, a couple 100 meters away from one farm and then 2 miles away from the other. So when we're building and such like, we're really fortunate that when we start concreting, we can just crack on, because the concrete yard's so bloody close. It's great, honestly. It's really, really handy. I have a feeling that's going to be a really long video, and I'm really sorry, but all stock is where it should be in like the respective selling groups. So all the cows are together at Big Roy's. All of the dairy stock, well, near enough all of the dairy stock that's younger to fatten up is here. All of the dairy stock that's nearly ready to go is at Big Roy's. In here we have freshly weaned calves, which are ready to be fattened on to sell, probably earlier than we usually do, because we normally run them on for that little bit longer. And in the end, there is a group of, I think now 12 heifers, 11 or 12 heifers. We're just going to wash the stock box out because it's had heavy use today. So much for watching. If you got to the end of this video, you deserve an absolute medal. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Love you long time, and I'll see you next time.